As a boy, I'd spend hours building towers from blocks, empowered by the sense of creation. But once I received the feeling of achievement, it meant I'd suffer another sensation. The desire to destroy was so strong as a boy, and my toys offered few limitations. The best way to gauge strength is to test to destruction. And I struggled to resist the temptation. So now, as a man, I still like to build towers, and relationships provide their location. Emotional bricks laid with hope's best made plans, fixed with trust and dedication. Now, the assumption of strength all too often prevents my attempts to transcend situations, and I can't help but push to test the towers that I've built with no thought for self-preservation. If it falls, then it falls, and its destiny's call. And if it don't fall, I'll push it again. It will fall when it falls, I keep telling myself. They all fall. It's just a matter of when. Nowadays, I live in a place that many people would find familiar. The streets are all named different, but the houses all look similar. So I live in my house that the house next door looks the same as. And I mind my own business, but I like to know my neighbours. I mean, there's people around here I've known a very long time. I'm always welcome at their house, and they're always welcome at mine. The guy who lives next door comes round whenever he likes to raid my fridge, use my phone, or borrow my bike. And if I go away, he feeds my pets and he waters my plants. Sometimes he brings his mates round, but he don't tell me in advance. This is the random nature of my complex next-door neighbour named Chance. And Chance's best friend from a very early age was a guy called Opportunity, but we don't see him much these days. He lives around the corner and don't come round all that much, and it's usually when I'm out. But still we try and keep in touch. Anyway, rubbing open my eyes, I rise and this day begins. I wash hair, teeth and skin and stare as a face that's been lived in glares back. Still, I've got a long time yet before I'm prepared to repair these cracks I left. My concentration was broken as I heard the back door swing open. Well, that must be Chance. You see, now Chance as a consumer will buy into a rumour and he dances to freestyle jazz. He's a social intruder with a sick sense of humour and takes miles from the inches he has.
You see, it's like this.
Here's Chance.
You've missed opportunity, and usually I wouldn't have seen him either. But today, I just happened to be here.
Now the smile on his face stretched up to his forehead because of the knowledge he'd somehow amassed. I acted nonchalant in my response and casually asked, "So, what did he want, and was it important?" Chance smiled back and gladly reported,
Well, my friend, that all depends, as Opportunity tends to volunteer useful information. Now, there's a party tonight, and it might be short notice, but we'll meet you at the usual location. Now, there's a certain young lady, and maybe you didn't know, but she views you with a soft focus fixation, and perhaps if you're there, she'll be prepared to advance to romance. The situation's in your hands, it hangs in the balance, but she's looking for long-term associations. Now, I know that this girl is going to make your toes curl because you talk about her almost incessantly. It's one of those twins who live up the road. You know. What's her name? Destiny.
Destiny. See, me and Destiny, we've got this history, and there's this one time when I almost kissed her. And I would have done too if I hadn't got confused and then tried to make a move on her sister. As Chance left, I gathered my breath, dressed and prepared for the day. My mind was racing, chasing my thoughts. If I talked to Destiny, what could I say? Deeper concentration called for a change of location. And I've run out of tobacco anyway. So, stepping into the world, confusion ran through my head. See, usually for me, relationships hang by a thread. I don't tend to get too close. I prefer to keep some distance. And I think it all stems from a basic fear of commitment. So I'll fall for the sort of girl I think is no good for me, and I'll be no good to her in return. And for all intensive purposes, we'll scratch each other's surfaces in an attempt to live and to learn. Whatever it takes, mistakes made and hearts broken. I'm open to changes, bad choices and strange voiced interventions. I can smile, I can nod, and I can do things when asked. Plus my silence is the mask I use to hide my true intentions. Now, I never intended to offend their better judgment, and don't begrudge me my regrets or discomfort. Because after the initial attraction, they'll explain when you ask them that I'm a man. So that means I'm a bastard. And if the shoe fits, I'll walk a mile when I take it off, smiling as I'm thinking of the friends I've lost at any cost, till suddenly the penny drops. What if she's the one? Once again, I was interrupted by the urge of another, determined to break my concentration. The tap on my shoulder made me turn to discover I was face to face with temptation. Now, temptation lives local but can be overly vocal when it comes to affairs of the heart. He likes testing your limits, and he'll leave you to finish the trouble he dared you to start. He's more than persistent. He won't keep his distance. He's got pestering down to an art. He'll make you surrender to another agenda, and to resist him might tear you apart. I don't know where he lives, but it must be round here, because I see him everywhere, all the time, every day, and I can't get away when he catches me unaware.
Where are you going and why?
He asked. He caught my eye, and I was unable to hide behind ignorance's mask, so I had to answer. To buy some more sticks to keep killing me softly with cancer, I sang.
Well, then I'm your man. You can buy them from me. Twice as much for half the price. The beauty of the duty-free. And that's not all I've got that's priced by the ounce, if you know what I mean. But it's all at my house. Come with me now, and I'll sort you out properly. We can have a spliff, get some baccy, and I'll make you a coffee.
Now, temptation's vocation was to try and destroy my sense of urgency. Still, I like to subsidise my diet with caffeine, nicotine, weed, dreams and uncertainty. So, certainly I said, let's leave right away. And temptation proceeded to lead me astray. Step by step, and bit by bit, he slowly eroded my brittle resistance. A virtuous version of virtue vanquished, the language of anguish left me stranded middle distance. Forward plan and abandoned, I let the whims of temptation be the wind in my sails. Still, when all else fails. Step by step and bit by bit, he slowly encoded my fears in adventure. Freedom of choice and variety's voice can breed status anxiety from years of peer pressure. But I don't appear pressured. Step by step and bit by bit, temptation took control. Bit by bit and step by step, he led me to his home. Opportunity, although a fan of knocking, drives a van and can just beep his horn. He pointed at the corner, mouthed,
"An hour and a quarter. I'll pick you up."
And a plan had formed. Now we both knew that if I wasn't there then he wouldn't bother waiting. Opportunities offers don't often include any room for negotiating. And like that, he was gone. Excuse me, it was her, Destiny, brushing past to the left of me. As she drifted by my staggering shadow, she cast her eyes to mine. I was hypnotised as a swaggering narrow wide ran parallel to my line. I smiled blind, opened my eyes and was lost in hers. Lost my bearings, lost for words, tried to speak, but lost the nerve. I wanted to say something, but sometimes I find it hard to find the words, and I wish that I could shake the hand of the angel who designed her curves. My mind was blurred and the moment passed. And as I watched her figure fading fast into the panoramic surroundings, her cinematic form seemed to chew the air around it. I was dumbfounded and found it hard to look anywhere else. I wish I could speak to that girl, I mumbled to myself. Temptation overheard my murmured tones, but overturned my ideas for ideas of his own.
Wait, forget about her. Come and meet my housemate. She's guaranteed to light your fire. She's beautiful, sexual, but she's no intellectual. I'll introduce you. Her name's Desire. Destiny, she's too refined. You'd have to wine her, dine her, and butter her up. Desire, on the other hand, is a complete and utter slut.
You are?
She's a slut, she's a slag, she's a real dirty girl, and if you laid all the cock that she'd had end to end, the sum total would span 3 times round the circumference of the world.
That's disgusting, I thought, but still an interesting equation. Temptation went on and I didn't need much persuading.
It's just a pier, Pandora Road. It's a bit of a box, but a home's a home.
And there it was,